What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, everybody? Welcome back to your pre-market live stream. Alrighty, so we do have quite a couple things to talk about this morning, as we normally do. So we're going to get ready to rock and roll on that. Sorry for showing up a tad bit late here, but you know how it goes sometimes. So this morning so far, there's been a few penny stocks that have moved around. Let me just do one more thing. All right, so we're going to start here. Oh, let me go back with SCKT. So SCKT obviously is a stock that reported earnings yesterday, and it's had a pretty phenomenal move so far. Right now, it's trading at +2 deviation resistance. Well, this was the +2 deviation resistance. So these two red lines you see, that's kind of the current resistance of the market. We rejected, we came to the mean, we bounced. We're trying to get up and through that. So pretty much you're right at your breakout level with SCKT. It's just a matter of getting it through that's not even correct. I think that's supposed to be 1409, but anyways, you really got to get it up through 1480, and I'll show you here in just a second. So if you're following SCKT today, right now, my at-most target for it would be $17.13 to a price of, oh, hold on, $18. The current resistance you have to get through in order to hit that price target, which was the at-most price target, you got to go to the price of $14.78, and which I think we're already through this one. $14.16 or so. Okay. All right, so you're breaking up into your resistance zone right now. You're almost at the top of the resistance zone. So once you snap through this successfully, and if it's a successful breakout, you should maybe look to get up to the next trending target, which would be $17 to $18. Whew, alrighty. Oh, a little stretching. Awesome. So that there, ladies and gentlemen, is SCKT for you guys. Now what I'll do is I'll pop on over to Snapchat. So Snapchat reported earnings, had a monster run to the upside. This is pretty strong. Well, had a strong move. So this is another one you should probably keep an eye on. Snapchat is very close to its previous all-time high. It might even be through it. It looks like Snapchat put in a new previous all-time high this morning. So this is something that I kind of want to watch long bias, but really quickly, if you look at the 4-hour chart, you're going to see that we have pushed right up to 1 deviation, okay? And remember how I said once one level breaks, it normally goes to the next. You'll see we broke the white line and then we ran right to the yellow, right? Look at it like this. So we sold all the way down to the yellow, then we bounced to the white, through the white, then to the yellow. So in order for Snapchat to continue moving higher, it needs to stay above the price of $73.58. And then we could see Snapchat continue to move higher. If you start cracking below $73.60, yeah, you might see a little bit of weakness for the time being. One more thing I need to look at. Daily chart is up to 87. 387. Okay. So in the event Snapchat has like a really, really awesome day, I think I would only be targeting up to about $80. So $80 would be the at-most target for me on the day. If in the event Snapchat holds at 73.60 and really explodes, I think you can hit a target of about $80.90. Excuse me. AMC? Yeah, we can take a look at AMC. So AMC, right now, my analysis is kind of like wishy-washy because we aren't really on support. So it's not typically a day where I would be like, yeah, let's buy it. But it also doesn't really look like a day where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to short it. So I'm kind of wishy-washy on my analysis here with this. But the last thing that we did touch on with AMC was yesterday. Ideally, we said that this was the current support of the market, so this is the levels that would have to hold, or else you're going to see this continuing to sell lower. You will see we started bearish, then we went through like a little intermediate short squeeze that ended up getting sold right back into, and then eventually you will see that we crossed those red lines again on the downside. We bounce back up to that red line, and then the market rejects it, and then we fade out for the remainder of the day. Now, realistically, on AMC, I don't really have any trending support down until the price of about $13.29 to 31.51. So pretty much 31.51 to 32-ish is where the current support for me is on the market. Now, we do have a price action trend that's like this, right? So let's say that this price action trend ends up holding. The market should move back up to prices of $40.50 or something. All right, so ideally, this is the way I'm looking at the market. This is the current resistance in the market that has to break for the market to go higher. So I can see this 40 to 40.60 being a long target. All right, so this is kind of long target resistance, and current long support doesn't exist down until 32.30. So again, this is about you deciding whether or not the price action looks good enough to be long bias, trying to push it to the next resistance, or you can wait for the market to try to run into resistance and then try to do a short play here. Or if in the event the market just falls apart and it gets extremely bearish, we can see a downswing that leads us all the way to 32 to 31. So again, those are kind of the two spots that I would really be focusing on. So this is sort of your dip by reversal point, and this is usually going to be your current resistance in the market. And so the reason I say that those are the 2 points is because those are most likely where algorithms and high frequency trading machines will come in, is around these points. Not necessarily, not only, but these are very, very common statistical levels where we should see good trading action off of. So resistance area 40.38, 39.85, reversal dip by supports done at 32.34 to 31.57. Woo! All right, cool. EYES ended up popping up yesterday, I believe. So that one popped pre-market, then it faded all the way out. So looks like EYES is probably done. So again, if you look at EYES, right, yesterday, well, past couple weeks it was down, right, and then it ended up breaking up, squeezing, and then it just sold all the way back down to that trend. So there probably isn't too much more downside with EYES. Like most of your aggressive selling is done, because most of the aggressive selling will happen right after volatility. So you had a big volatility spike, it ended up crashing all the way down, the same move it made up. So you're going to go back into slower trading range now. The fact that EYES is sold off, but I don't see it really as a big long bias trader. It's probably just going to be pretty nonchalant for now. Okay. Yeah, did anybody remember yesterday on Neuro? The suggestion on Neuro was you'd look long through kind of the pre-market high and go for the gap fill up to 33. It ended up spiking all the way to 40 and then it crashed. But so yeah, the trade recommendation for Neuro was right, just not entirely. So that ended up working. Hopefully some people caught a piece of that. Mr. Montero, awesome. SRPT, yeah, let's take a look at that one. So that was SPRT. SPRT, I believe, is what you're referring to. Yeah, so SPRT had a big move yesterday. This was something that I actually saw yesterday when we were trading, and I mentioned to our premium group that this is going to continue to be a long, and I was like, I guarantee this is going to go higher than this point on the day, and ended up hitting 695. Kind of thought it might work as a swing trade move, ended up happening intraday, so be it, but it did end up going higher than that previous high. So SRPT, I do believe, hit some resistance, but arguably still kind of looks strong. Like, I don't look at this and say, oh yeah, I want to sell that, or I think that's going to break down, or I want to short that. So looking at SRPT currently, or SPRT, there's nothing that really suggests to me like, oh, we should be betting bearish. Just like this is supposed to go down. Like, it just, no. So I would still be on the long side of SPRT for right now, but do be mindful of the fact yesterday it pretty much hit 3 deviations. So arguably this thing might actually be done, in the sense that we already kind of did this little flag cup and handle breakout, and that breakout yesterday led us all the way to a high of 699. 3 deviations is at 717. So again, it already kind of blew up yesterday, right? And if you look at here on this time frame, you'll see the green line's right at 680. So, you know, when you look at where we got to yesterday, I mean, this price up here was a resistance, right? So if you would have mapped out the +2 and the +3 deviation zone, you would have came up with the resistance for SPRT on the day of right there. And then you can see that's where it tops and it sells down off of. So I'm not bearish, nor am I too bullish SPRT. But I think you should still watch this slightly long bias. I can't really give too crazy of analysis though, but I would probably stay on the long side of this. Yeah, your resistance point is like 611. So if SPRT is going to put in a good day, it's got to get up through 611. If it gets through 611, you might be able to retag 695 or so. Any future for works? I guess I'll take a little gander. All right, so this was just from a couple, how long ago did that happen? Yeah, so no, not really. I mean, you might get like a little baby bounce, but you shouldn't expect to be getting any sort of big move. Like this big move you saw in works from $1.70 all the way up to $4. That was a really good move. You should not expect that you're going to see a move like that anytime soon. And you're back down at the mean, so you can see we're back down at the white line. So you're basically at to normal trend. Until you get below the white line, you haven't really gone on sale. So I would recommend, if you're watching works, you might look for this to continue lower. And then as the prices get to below the mean and start nearing -1 deviations, then you can consider buying this for maybe a swing long. But I don't expect that works is going to recover any of this loss that it's put in over the past couple days anytime soon. Whew. Yeah, IPA, we could look at IPA. IPA was a mover yesterday again. Excuse me. So, yesterday, IPA breaks through the mean. That's where the big breakouts happen. It goes from the mean all the way up to +1, and then it goes to +2. So, ideally, what's going to happen is these levels might be slightly off, but what we're going to do is we're going to overlap a bunch of lines on all of these important lines, and then we're going to look at the 1-minute chart, and then you're going to see that, in fact, the price of the stock trades to all of those levels, has a little bit of interaction, and then it breaks through. So, you know, by doing what I'm showing you to do on this, you're basically going to find all the resistance points. You're going to know exactly why stocks run and they start to pull back, where they pull back, you know. And that's at like a very beginner level. Very beginner level people look at a stock and it goes up and they're like, all right, it's going good. And they see a little bit of selling pressure and it goes red. And they're like, oh, why is it going red? Well, this system should answer all those questions for you for the most part. All right, so you got that there. And then you got, no, still same thing. All right, so let's go back a little bit. All right. So this is the first level we put on the chart, this one. Yeah, that guy, that that red line down there. So that red line is the long-term mean. You'll see we ran up to it, sold down, then we came back up, broke it, then it had a big run. These levels changed a little bit, but you'll see we kind of ran close to the next support. Not quite, that's not a good example, but I know they updated, sold off. Then you'll see as we cross kind of through those red line zones, we get another big breakout with a gap. And then if we zoom up a little bit more, the price of this move almost reaches this red line, and then we bounce and try to tag it there, and then we sell down. And again, these levels changed slightly. So yesterday they were a little bit more accurate, but you can see almost every spot that we have those red lines, you get a lot of interaction. You get a breakout. You get another breakout, and then as you near up to the top of the resistance, you sell down, and then you consolidate in those two red lines, which eventually leads to a breakdown. So with IPA today, I don't really care for it on the long side yet. I would probably be more bearish IPA. Yeah, I would say that the resistance on the day for IPA is in the 1260s. A potential target on the downside is all the way back to 838. But if you're looking for a big long move, you'd have to get up to the prices of 1267 in order to make it a bigger move. All right, really quickly, we're going to touch on the market. So yesterday, excuse me. Yeah. Hold on. Something's a little off here. That does not look right. But it is. Huh. Odd. No, we're right. So yesterday I was wrong again. I said I didn't think it was going to be a really big day. I kind of thought we were going to have hesitation around 362.94. So ideally yesterday pre-market when the NASDAQ was here, we said that the resistance on the day would be this red line. We figured it would probably hit resistance there, and then it would have more of a sideways day, not too big of a gain. Well, we were wrong. You can see we ran up to the line. Okay, so we ran up to that red line, down, bounce back to the red line, down, push up to the red line, flag pattern on the red line, break above, swing up, market pulls right back down to the red line, slightly below, bounces above, and then you can see as it starts to swing down through it, you get a big selling spike. There's enough buyers in the market to support it. We move back up above the red line and trend very nicely, and the market breaks away. All right, so this morning we're up to 366 for the most part. That was the high, which puts us right back at the all-time high. So I would expect today we're going to have a little hesitation. We'll see if I'm right about that. So I think today you're going to see some hesitation on the market. And then once we actually break out of the high, I would probably just be targeting up to your next deviation, which is 368. I'm not crazy about buying the market long. I'm not saying you should be a long bias buyer at this point. I just think the markets can still move up a little bit after we pull back a little bit. But nonetheless, the recommended buy for the NASDAQ was pretty much, just to put it, it was the low of that candle. This was the recommended buy price for the NASDAQ. So we are not suggesting you should be buying long or anything like that. We're just suggesting pull back and still moving long. Entry price should have been back there at literally 352-ish, 17. So anyways, nothing too crazy in the market today, I don't think. Alrighty. NRXP. Let's take a look. So that stock sold down, went all the way up to 20, which means it's at resistance. I can almost guarantee you, watch, I can just put this line here. Watch what happens when I put this line. I'm just guessing. I have no idea, but I just put a red line there. So when we go back and look at the long-term chart, most likely it means it ran into resistance there. It's almost guaranteed. Oh, yeah, duh, extend left. Ready? Let's see how accurate it is. Oh, I'm wrong. Maybe. I don't know. I got to change the time frame. But you can see there's a dotted white line that comes into play right there. So my prediction was wrong so far. What happens when we go to the daily chart? But when we go to the daily chart, we have a level up to 27 there. So we'll see. But which one did I put on? I think I put this one. So that's got to be wrong. All right, so this is where I'm going to change it to white, and I'll change it to dotted. So that is where the half deviation price comes into on the long-term chart. So It's not the biggest resistance, but we did in fact run into one starting at the price of 23.66. We crept over it a little bit here and there, but we did. So nonetheless, we ran up. So I think today for me, if this continues moving along, the at most price target I would look for is 27. Now, if you can get through 27, you can have another big move, but for now, I'd really only target to a high of 27. And if it really, really pulls back, then we could target down to $17.15. Yeah. What about this one, though? Oh, we're on it. Yeah, here's another thing. Look at this. Ready? Watch. Okay, let's go back and look at... Ready? Watch this. Go back, look at the daily chart. You're going to look at the daily chart. You see that? Oh, no, you won't. You see this dotted line? Look at this. This dotted line. Ready? We're going to change it. We're going to put a dotted line there. And then we're going to edit it. We're just going to make it white. Then we're going to make it a dotted line. And then ready? Watch this. Now let's go look at the 1 minute chart. Let's see where the stock's bottoming pre-market. Right on the dotted white line. I mean, just... Can I get a round of applause? Maybe just a little golf clap, just a little tickle. So again, that's... So if you're ever wondering how a pre-market resistance and how a pre-market support is created in the first place, that's how. So when you wake up in the morning and you wonder why the stock dropped to $5 and bounced, or why it ran to $35 and stopped, it's because of standard deviation. What video? I mean, there's videos on my channel. One of these days I really just gotta just get all the links and post them in here, but I haven't done that. But yeah. What is this mystical magic? The mystical magic you are seeing is just typically what most people... I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't see a whole lot of trading videos on the internet or anything investing related around this topic. So I'm not sure. It's not mystical magic. It sure seems like it at times, but nonetheless, I'm not quite sure. Your grandma's clapping. Hell yeah, old Grandma Susie's clapping for her boy Connor. Gotta love it. Got to love it. Can you explain what scanners you use? Focus on the most. Find stocks you will trade with. Yeah, I can. Give me like 3 seconds here, and I will do that for you. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we are expediting me getting onto YouTube. I know I've been talking about that recently, so we were looking at coming on September 1st, but it looks like that's going to be sooner. Wait, August 1st? Wait, September? Yeah. So I said September 1st, but really it's probably going to end up it being more like August 1st. Hold on, I know I got it somewhere. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. Perfect. Copy. Okay, so for the person who just asked, so for the person who just asked about the scanners, I am posting a link. Go there, subscribe, please. Okay, I really don't need to subscribe that bad, but seriously, I just posted that link. You go there. Oh, wait, no, that's a video. Sorry, I thought that was a stream. But anyways, that video link I just posted will discuss most of the scanners I use, what they do, and kind of how you can use them. And then that will also take you to another YouTube channel called Trading Clips. It's a secondary channel I started just to stream scanners for people to use. So that video will show you how to use scanners, what ones I use, and then we'll also direct you to another YouTube channel so you can use those scanners every single day for free rather than going and spend a couple $100 yourself every single month and spend Zing and trade ideas. Shee! Shout out to your mustache, man. I haven't rocked a mustache in a while. Maybe I'll have to bring it back. The context for the next video I am doing. So the next video that I am going to do is going to be, it's going to be titled How You Can Learn to Day Trade in a Month, which is totally clickbaitish because there's no way you could actually learn to day trade in a month. All right. So if there's any video on the internet that says that, it's pretty much clickbaitish bullshit. So my objective here is that my next video I make will be titled, literally, I have it written down here. This was actually like a brief little, script I was writing down actually yesterday of kind of how I want to do this video. So this is just like a starting. Sometimes I do this, just write down a couple ideas of things that need to be discussed. And so you can see the title there, How You Can Learn to Day Trade in a Month. So that's a complete lie. But the objective is that it's going to be clickbaitish, hopefully, so that people who actually think they can trade within a month are going to click on it. And then they're going to get hit with just a flavor blast of knowledge that they weren't expecting to get. So the objective is really to use a clickbaitish title to hopefully attract a big mass of people into a video that's actually going to be probably their best, straightforward, gunshot, buckshot, bam, approach to day trading as quickly as possible. So they won't have to go through 67,000 YouTube videos to get all the tools that they need right away to do their trading. So basically, I'm going to give them pretty much all the important stuff that they need to have, brokers to use, and then how you can get started right away. And that should alleviate them having to watch 16 million YouTube videos. So we'll see how it goes. So that one will be talking about brokers, standard deviation. We're going to be going through, I think, the top 20 most patterns as I think we're going to go to the top 20 patterns as recommended by Bulkowski, which is someone who back in I think it was the 70s or some shit. Back in the 70s, did a lot of research on patterns to find if there actually was a statistical edge that could be predictable using patterns, which there kind of is, but really there isn't enough studies to actually prove that patterns can be consistently profitable over a longer period of time. But there is data to suggest that if you're comparing one pattern to the next, there are higher probabilities of some patterns working better than others. So that's another thing we're going to post in that video is sort of the most profitable pattern, so that people aren't watching a video on YouTube thinking it's the most profitable pattern when it's actually not, because there are 20 most profitable patterns that we can go over that does have some research to back. So that will be mentioned in that video as well. But I'm also going to be providing a TradingView script so that people in Europe, Germany, Canada could also use standard deviation similar to the way we do on TOS. So the video should be able to be used by the entire world, right? And most of the videos that I do, only people in the United States can use, because a lot of stuff we use is on TOS, and that's only allowed for people in the United States. So the video I'm going to make should hopefully grasp a wide audience of people. We'll see. We'll see how YouTube likes it and if they promote it. They probably won't, knowing my channel, but we'll see, Porn stash, Lego. The one I did with the bank, yeah. So that was, that was a pretty good video. I mean, editing was pretty good. We got minimal views, but that's typically how it goes. So again, like I said, I'm gonna be really impressed to see how this next video does, because I have seen another video on the internet that's titled the exact same, with like 6 million views. So, and that was over the course of a couple years. So I'm just thinking, I know more than that guy. So as long as I can pretty much do everything he did in that video and more with decent editing, it should work. And then if it doesn't, then again, the odds must be against me. I have no idea. Alrighty, guys. With that being said, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I will see everybody on the next stream, which will be on Monday morning. All right, guys. Oh, wait, no. I won't. Well, no, I will be streaming Monday morning. But next week, I will not be streaming because I'm having surgery, so I'll be out for a couple days. So that being said, I'll catch you guys Monday morning. Everybody take care. Have a great rest of your day.